So tell me about the hormone levels you mentioned. I'm taking 5-HTP sometimes, and it helps me with my serotonin level. And anything else what do you recommend to your clients, your patients?
So I usually, well, I mean, the first thing always is heal the gut, because all 19 of your neurotransmitters are created in your gut. So if they're not being created, you won't experience them or be able to use them as messengers in your body. Um, so that's like the root cause of the issue. But yes, I give a lot of my patients 5-HTP because they have, serotonin issues, dopamine issues, and helps them so much. And it's great to take that, right? In the meantime, until your gut's healed, you do take that, right? To be in a good mood and to live your life. Um, but I definitely recommend the things I said. Definitely, the gut is the most important. All health comes from the gut. So the old time doctors I studied and still look at, that's what they said every single day. The gut's like the number one thing. So like when I do healing, I do call the functional hierarchy of healing. Like you have to heal one system before another, because you can't just randomly jump in and say heal your adrenal glands, because your adrenal glands are directly connected to your gut. And if your gut has issues, your adrenal glands are never going to heal. Does that make sense? So you never could just like jump in and heal. And that happened to me because I had stress. I told you that was one of my things. So I had fatigued adrenal glands. I mean, of course I did, but I could not heal them until I healed my gut first.
Mm.
Healing gut makes you produce those neurotransmitters, which helps with everything else: depression, anxiety, mood disorders, hormone levels, everything.
But in my case, I do it pretty clean. Like I'm not saying I'm not cheating here and there, but 90%, 99% of the time I eat the four things: meat, fish, vegetables, and fruit. I don't eat dairy, I don't eat gluten, I don't eat processed food, I don't eat refined sugar, I don't eat any of those. And it's been 5 years, and sometimes I feel like my gut is perfectly fine and it's healed. But how long it takes the leaky gut to actually heal, or what am I doing wrong?
Well, you're probably not doing anything wrong, but it takes a long time. Like that's the biggest thing I could say. Like all this takes a long time. Like you're 5 years in, I'm 13 years in. I think now I know for a fact my gut's healed, but I guess 5 years ago I do a gut test every 5 years. And 5 years ago it wasn't healed yet. And I'm like, what the, why? I mean, I'm doing everything like you're saying. I was doing it too, but I was longer, more years in. I'm like, why is it not healing? But it's just literally finding out and keep doing the things, just keep at it. It will heal. It will heal itself. But it's the hardest thing to heal because you're eating every day. Did you ever try fasting?
I did, and that's when I started having anxiety.
Oh, okay. Your body's not ready for it yet. Yeah. That was a great healing for me because I was not ready yet either. So when I was 5 years in, I was not ready to fast. Probably in 2018 was the first time I completed a fast. Um, and that helped heal my body so much because if you think about it, you're putting stuff in your gut every single day, right? It's like a factory working 24 hours a day. At some point, it's got to be shut down and cleaned and left alone to kind of restore itself. And that's the gut. Like you have to kind of just shut down the factory and just let it heal for whatever it is. You could do an intermittent fast, you could do autophagy fasting, which is the one that will get rid of those autoimmune cells. So that's like a really important fast. If you're able to do it, it's very powerful.
That's
Um,
very fast.
Autophagy fasting. So it's intermittent fast. It's like 17 hours at least.
Mm-hmm.
On the 17th hour, you break your fast with a healthy fat. So like coconut oil or nut butter or some healthy form of fat. And then you try to extend the fast 2 more hours. And then you eat your regular meal.
So 17 hours, no food, and then you eat the coconut oil, something, fat,
Yep.
then 2 more hours, and then you can go back to your routine. How often are you doing that?
I recommend doing it a couple times a week because what it is like it's a clean out for your body. It's a self-cleaning mechanism in your body. So your body will hunt down the cells that are not working. That's the other thing. On those days, it has to be like a plant-based day, I call it. So mostly vegetables. You have to watch your protein intake. So it has to be under 20 grams of protein for that day because the mechanism is your body's going to hunt out the protein and it's going to destroy the cells that it can't use anymore. And then that's the autoimmune cells that you don't want anymore. So we'll hunt out those cells and get rid of them. So it's like a self-cleaning mechanism your body has right in place, but it just has to have follow those few parameters to get going and have it happen.
Very interesting. I have to try that for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see how my anxiety. Can I take the 5-HTP in the morning
Yeah.
before I end
Yeah.
fasting?
Yeah. Yeah. Take it. Because if you need to take it, because I mean, if you, there's a way to combat your anxiety, like I would definitely, have you ever gotten a DNA test?
DNA, I just did recently. Yes, the 10x Health DNA test.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so that's going to tell you your gene snips, and that's going to tell you what nutrients your body needs, right? So many people are not taking those nutrients in, but those are like the body's raw materials to function on. So it's very gut healing because it will complete methylation pathways that probably are not getting complete, and that will heal the gut amazingly. And that will help with neurotransmitter production, and hopefully anxiety will be in the rearview mirror for you.
Yes, yes. I was recommended to take a different multivitamin that I was taking before. So I just started it. Let's see how it goes in the next month or so. But with my iron level that it's very low, do you recommend anything? How to increase it?
Just, I mean, dark leafy greens. That's what the doctor told me, the first doctor. He was like, you have to eat a lot of dark leafy greens. So just be sure they're organic. You know, spinach is probably the biggest one. You know, but then you get into the thing today with oxalates and like all this stuff comes into play. But just try to eat a bunch of dark leafy greens and just try to eat a lot of plant life. Like Dr. Wall said that, like to eat 200 plants a week. Like we had a thing one week in my doctor's group, like we had a competition, like how many plants can we eat? So just like going out and searching out plants just from a recommendation, because that's really where that all comes from. You know, all that good nutrition will come from.
So it's not a supplement that I can take. It would work better if I take the.
Yeah, it works best. Respect with this food if you can do it that way.
What about a liver and organ meats?
Yeah, I mean that's good in moderation. I'm just not a fan of that stuff, so I don't talk about it. But yes, it's good in moderation if it's from a good animal, you know, pasture raised and organic. Make sure they're not eating grains themselves, right? Because that's the problem too. People eat conventional meat, but the animals are eating grains, so it's like they have all the glyphosate sprayed on it and all the folic acid sprayed on it, and that's not the diet of these animals. They have to be grass fed, so that's how you get a great product, which is their body that we're eating.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. And anything else that you saw in